हेलो फ्रेंड्स। हमारे देश में अगर इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया जैसे इंस्टीट्यूशन द्वारा किसी भी व्यक्ति को उसके देश के प्रति लैक ऑफ मॉरल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के लिए नेम एंड शेम करने के बारे में सोचना कितना सही है? क्या ये अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल होगा और क्या इससे हमारे राइट ऑफ प्राइवेसी का हनन माना जा सकता है? Hi, I'm your friend Stuti Sharma with another interesting episode of Unplugged Legally by Stuti, where we bring to you interesting anecdotes, occurrences, and stories related to law and beyond. And in this episode, we talk about the concerns on low voter turnout in Indian elections. Sometime back, a report published in media had stated that the Chief Electoral Officer of a state in Western India had signed several MOUs with major industries in the state to monitor the electoral participation of workers employed by them. Supposedly, the names of all those who avail of a paid holiday on the voting day but do not turn up to vote would have been published on a website or notice board. While this strategy of naming and shaming rightly drew criticism that it violates the voters' right of privacy and is constitutionally wrong, but at the same time, ECI cannot be faulted for its intentions of trying to proactively deal with the major issue of low voter turnout in the elections, which is counted as the most significant festival of any true democracy. It's important to know that as per Section 135B of the Representation of the People's Act 1951, there is a provision for granting paid leave to employees on the day of the voting. But urban apathy, laziness, lack of interest and awareness are probably some of the reasons for the absence of enthusiasm among voters and leads to low turnout during elections despite the obvious facilitation efforts of the government to encourage the voters' participation. India's average voter turnout in 2014 was 66.4%, which marginally increased to 67.4% in 2019, but still truly is way below the expected voter turnout in a vibrant democracy like India. Kudos to the lovely people of Lakshadweep Island for having recorded the highest voter participation in the previous turn elections of 2019 at 85%. It was followed by northeastern state of Nagaland at 83%, Manipur at 82.69%, Tripura at 82.4%, and Arunachal Pradesh at 82.11%. The northeastern states in general have had a history of huge voter turnout. Unfortunately, the electorally important state of Uttar Pradesh, which sends the most number of 80 MPs to the Lok Sabha, recorded a voter turnout of only 59.21%. Bihar too was only at 57.33%. We have to keep in mind and appreciate the massive machinery and mammoth efforts supported by ECI to ensure that people come to polling booths to vote. This truly mammoth exercise of 2024 Lok Sabha elections in India will involve 28 states, 8 union territories and around 968 million voters. It's astounding that this 44 days of scattered election exercise running into 7 phases is expected to cost around anything between $10 to $15 billion in total, which is huge by any standards and is more than the double of what was spent in the 2019 elections. This also makes the upcoming 2024 elections as the costliest election exercise anywhere else in the world. Though this cost is supposed to be inclusive of the government expenditure as well as the expenditure by means of campaigning by political parties and related charges for conducting the elections. So some critics might rightly have the reservations of the naming and shaming of the people, taking a paid holiday and abstaining from voting, but at the same time, this does raise a serious question about a sincerity in executing a fundamental duty towards ensuring the way we want our nation to progress and be governed by voting with sincerity and without fail. If not legally, then morally we are bound to vote in all seriousness and contribute in building of the nation. So taking all this in consideration, the least we can do as a responsible citizen is to get inked and proudly flaunted. As for people who still continue to be frivolous and do not intend to vote, what a shame, guys. This is Stuti signing off for now, hoping to be back soon with another interesting shot on a topic of relevance. Goodbye and take care.